Hey guys, so today I'm doing a video outside because it's really nice weather and I thought why not. So I've been wanting to do this video for a really long time, but I didn't really know exactly what I wanted to say and I wanted to include every detail. So first things first, I will say that yes, I do have depression and yes, I am on a medication for my depression and yes, it has made it better. So I'll start off by saying that my depression probably started when I was 17 and that was 9, 20, 21, 22, 5 years ago now. I had gone through some pretty big things at the time, some big changes and some quite devastating things. At the time, I didn't really realise it or see it as depression, but now that I look back and read back at journals that I kept when I was that age up till probably 2 years ago, I see that yes, it was definitely depression. Yes, it's definitely what I have now. I had the same feelings then as I did a year ago when I wasn't on medication. The only difference is back then it was kind of an on and off thing and it stemmed from a few different things. I'd probably say that when I was 17, a few things happened with like boys and school, and I was being a bit bullied at the time and I kind of got depression and I kind of went from being a really outgoing person to a really shy, kept to myself person. I stopped kind of wanting to talk to friends. A little time went on and probably when I was nearly 18 I had a massive breakdown which led to an eating disorder. So at that time something really traumatic happened, and I know to other people it might not have looked like a big deal, but to me in my head it was pretty traumatic. And that's something that people don't realise when dealing with depressed people. They kind of just think that because they can't understand, because they haven't felt it, that it's not real or that it's not a real sickness and that they should be fine with something because you are fine with something. But people cope in different ways and your brain can exaggerate things. It can make things appear bigger in your mind, and this can have effects on your body, your mental self and just everything. When I was 18 I moved out of home and I was a lot happier. Because of money issues and things like that I couldn't stay out of home, so I came back home and yet again I got depression. This time it was a lot worse and I would spend my most nights crying and just feeling awful. And if you've had depression you will know that mental pain is so much worse than physical pain. Like any amounts of hurting yourself physically could not compare. It's just excruciatingly painful. You won't understand this at all unless you've had depression or gone through depression yourself. I actually read this thing on the internet from a famous, I don't know what he was either a scientist or a poet or something like that, and he compared having depression, the emotional pain that you have when you have depression, to being probably 100 times worse than cutting your balls open. So if you can take that into consideration then you will understand, but I 100% agree with that. I think that, yeah, absolutely the most painful thing in the world. So I had depression when I was living back at home. I wasn't on any medication. I was just feeling horrible. I had some family stuff going on and I don't know, I didn't really have many friends at that time, so I was feeling really down about myself, and I'd moved back home which was in a different state to where I'd moved previously, so I missed all my friends. I didn't really feel at home. Probably a year after that I moved back out of home and my depression got even worse, so bad I can't even explain it. Looking at the time I kind of didn't see it like it was just my world, it was just what life was, so I didn't really see it as depression. Like, yes, I felt sad, but I kind of numbed it. Like, at that time, I was at uni break. I worked every Friday, so every Friday I'd go to Sydney to work, and the rest of the time I'd just be at home. I tried to fill up the hurt I was feeling by doing a bunch of things which I now see were crazy. For one, I started buying bottles of alcohol, bottles of wine, pretty much every day. At first it was just once a week, and I'd drink the whole bottle to myself during the week, but then it became, I'd go to the bottle shop down the road, I'd buy a big bottle of wine, I'd drink the whole bottle that day in one sitting while I watched shows, and I'd just basically probably be drunk by myself, and then I'd cry and just, it was a big mess. I probably continued on for about 2 months, and then I felt myself getting really, I don't know, not feeling very well. Because I've always been quite an active person physically. Like, I'd go running all the time, and I'd stopped running because I wasn't happy, and I just was at home drinking wine all the time. I'd stopped running, and I went out to go for a run, and I just felt not good. Like, I didn't feel how I felt. I was puffed, I was feeling bad. So then after that, I got back onto drinking water, and then probably a month after that, I was feeling just so terrible again, and I was looking up online any way to kind of numb the pain. And at this point, I still had my eating disorder as well. So in my brain, I can't even explain it, I just had this nagging feeling that I needed to lose weight, that I was so fat, and that I was also depressed, and that my depression was coming from my being overweight. And just to let you know, I wasn't even overweight. In high school, I was probably slightly on the chubby side, but not even anything. It was just like baby weight. And then, yeah, since then I had an eating disorder on and off, but it wasn't really consciously in my mind an eating disorder. It was more like, oh, I'll just like not eat today, whatever. And then it became more and more apparent to me that I needed to lose weight, and it was just this nagging feel in my head. So I pretty much, looked up ways online to stop, like to numb the pain of my depression and to stop feeling hungry. And in my head, my depression was just caused by my need to be skinny. Online, a few people had said that they picked up smoking, that smoking stops you from feeling hungry, and it's a great release of stress as well. So I picked up smoking. I did that probably for about, I don't know, maybe 6 months. I continued this on into the next house I moved into. So I probably started smoking about 6 months after I moved out of home the second time, and I lived in that house for a year, so that's 6 months, and then I moved into my next home and did it for another probably 2 months. So that's probably about 8 months of smoking until my partner just was like, no, you can't smoke, because, well, pretty much he didn't know I smoked at first, and then I kind of told him because he was staying over, and I was like, well, I need a cigarette, so I might as well just tell him. I told him, he wasn't happy at all, and basically he said that if you don't stop, like, we can't really make this work. So I stopped smoking for him, and it was quite easy for me because I haven't really got that much of an addictive personality. So I stopped smoking, and although sometimes when I smell cigarettes, I'm like, oh, I like that smell, but it doesn't, like, then it goes away in like 5 seconds, so whatever. Anyway, and then something huge happened around that time, which was about October last year. I'm not going to say what it is, but pretty much it was the worst thing that I've possibly ever been through in my life. And if I thought I had depression before, then, it's absolutely like nothing compared to what I felt. Pretty much I tried to commit suicide a few times and failed. I didn't tell anyone, but that is what happened. And then pretty much at that point I was like, no, I can't live like this, I need help. So I went to the doctor and basically I told her everything, and she said, I'm going to put you on an antidepressant. So I tried a few different ones. The first one I was on was fine for about a month, and then I started having hallucinations, so obviously I went off that. Second one did not do a thing for me. Third one I'm on now, and it seems to be working fine. I've been on it ever since, and I haven't noticed any weight gain or anything like that. I'm liking that right now. That one is called Prestique, for any of you that are wondering. It's not a long-term fix, but it is helping right now, so that's what I'm going with. And I know I still need to work on my depression, but it is getting better. I've got a lot of good things going for me right now, and I just want to say that it does get better if you're in school and you're getting bullied or you're going through tough things. It does get better, and you do go through bad things in your adult life as well, and it does get bad again sometimes, but trust me, it will get better. It's just life. You have to live it, and you grow from those experiences. I can honestly say I'm not the same person as I was like 4 years ago. Even 1 year ago, I'm a completely different person. I have different issues, I have different strengths. All my story, I just wanted to get it out there because it's been trapped inside me for a long time. I just thought that maybe sharing it would help some of you guys to know that someone else out there is struggling with maybe the same things as you, or that there's someone that you can talk to about it. You can talk to me. I will also post a bunch of links to different places like Beyond Blue and that you can call up if you're feeling really depressed, and you can talk to them about it. I will say I am still fighting the urge in my head to start my eating disorder up again, and it's really hard, but I'm taking it day by day, and I have lots of supportive, loving people who are helping me with that. As for my depression, I'm taking that day by day too. I'm on my medication for now, and I go and see my doctor frequently to talk to her. I suggest maybe going seeing a counsellor or talking to a doctor about your problems. And if you don't want to really open up to them about it, like I never wanted to open up to anyone really about it till now, then you have the option of talking to a doctor, because they're not going to tell anyone. Also, a counsellor's not going to tell anyone, but sometimes a doctor just feels more safe. Just know that it does get better, and there are people there who want to help you through it, and there's always someone else out there who's battling with it. I always thought that I was alone with it, but then I found out that a bunch of my friends actually have the same problems and like the same have depression as well, or an eating disorder as well, that kind of thing, and they've all been keeping it secret because they didn't think anyone would understand. But now we're all in the same boat, so you can help each other with that. So anyway, that is all I have for this video today. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can always email me at askkariquestions@gmail.com, and I will answer them on this channel, as well as if you just want to chat to someone or tell someone about your depression, you can email me there as well, and I will always be quick to respond. So that is all. I love you guys, and I hope you're having a fantastic day. I hope that you're feeling good, and if you're searching up this video because you have depression, know that people are there for you, people love you, and I love you. And don't do anything stupid, because there's always a way around everything, and life does get better, even if it's just parts of it. So take that in mind, and I will see you next time. Bye.